My name is Mark. I'm a normal man from a small town on the British coast. I fix old houses. I am not a hero. I am not a treasure hunter. But one night, I found $10 billion that belonged to Pablo Escobar. Then his cartel came to find me. This is the story of how a dusty metal chest almost ended my life. I will tell you what happened. I will tell you how it felt. I will not leave anything out. This is the truth, plain and simple, from the beginning to the very end. The day it all started was ordinary. It was a Tuesday. I was hired to clear an old estate. The house was forgotten. It stood on a hill overlooking the grey sea. Locals whispered stories about the man who lived there. They said he had secrets. They said he came from a place of violence and never spoke of his past. I ignored the rumours. I had a job to do. I was paid to empty the house, not to listen to gossip. The air inside was thick with the smell of decay and damp paper. Every room was a tomb of forgotten things. Old furniture stood shrouded in white sheets, like ghosts waiting for a party that ended decades ago. My work is methodical. I check every corner. I tap walls. I look for what others miss. In a small study at the back of the house, behind a heavy oak wardrobe, I found a loose floorboard. It was a simple trick, but effective. My heart beat a little faster. Underneath, in the dark space between the joists, was a metal chest. It was old. It was heavy, and it was locked tight with two thick, rusted padlocks. I broke the locks with a hammer and a chisel. The sound echoed in the empty house, loud as a gunshot. I lifted the lid. The smell that hit me was strange. It was a mix of damp earth, old ink, and something else, something chemical. The chest was packed to the brim with bundles of cash. They were wrapped in brown paper and tied with string. I thought they were old pounds, or maybe dollars. I had found hidden savings before, but this was different. The sheer volume of it was staggering. It was more money than I had ever seen in my life. It was a fortune buried in the floor. I sat on the dusty floorboards. The silence of the house pressed in on me. I reached into the chest and pulled out a single bundle. My hands were shaking. I unwrapped the string carefully, my fingers clumsy with a sudden cold apprehension. The paper was brittle. I pulled out a single note. It felt strange, thicker than modern currency. I held it up to the weak light filtering through the grimy window. The face staring back at me was not a king or a president I recognized, but I knew the face. The world knew that face. It was Pablo Escobar. The name was printed clearly beneath the portrait. My breath caught in my throat. This was from a different world. Legends, violence, unimaginable wealth. Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine, a man who burned millions to keep his family warm. A fortune hidden so well governments searched for it for decades. The stories spoke of billions lost, and I was holding a piece of a $10 billion ghost. The air in the room felt heavy, dangerous. I quickly took out my phone. My mind was racing, a chaotic storm of fear and excitement. I had to document this. I needed proof. I took photos of the chest. I took close-up shots of the notes, the strange serial numbers, the unfamiliar watermarks. I even recorded a short video. My own voice, a nervous whisper, as I described what I was seeing. The phone felt like a bomb in my hand. Every picture, every second of video was evidence. Evidence that could make me rich, or evidence that could get me killed. After I had the photos, I carefully put everything back. I rewrapped the bundle, closed the heavy lid, slid the broken padlocks back, and replaced the floorboard and wardrobe. I stood there listening to my own frantic heartbeat. I had to get out of there. I had to act like nothing had happened. I walked out, locked the door, tried to look like a man who'd finished a normal day's work. But I was not a normal man anymore. The drive home was a blur. Rain began to fall, smearing the world into streaks of grey and black. My hands were slick with sweat on the steering wheel. Every car in my mirror felt like a threat. Was I being followed? Did someone know? The questions pounded in my head like a drum beat. I told myself to be calm, but logic was a distant shore. I was adrift on an ocean of panic. In my pocket, my phone felt incredibly heavy. A small rectangle of glass, holding a secret worth billions, a secret that belonged to the most dangerous criminal organization in history. I couldn't do this alone. I needed help. I needed someone I could trust. I thought of Tom, my oldest friend. He worked at a bank. He was cautious, methodical, grounded. I pulled over and called him. My voice was tight. I told him I had found something big. I didn't say the name over the phone. I just said, "You need to see this." He told me to come to his flat, neat lawns, orderly lives. When I arrived, he could see the state I was in. He made tea. I showed him the chest, the bundles, a single note. When he saw Escobar's face, the color drained from his own. "Mark," he whispered, "what have you done?" We spent the next hour examining the photos. Tom pointed out details I had missed, the unusual printing method, the sequential serial numbers. He searched for Escobar's hidden fortune, narco dollars. We found articles, forum posts, academic papers about cartel finances. The figure of $10 billion appeared again and again. Cash Escobar couldn't launder before he died. An ocean of money lost to the world, until now. We were looking at a map to that ocean. The question was what to do next. Our first instinct was to call the police. Sensible, lawful. But we hesitated. Fear held us back. We were in over our heads. We knew it. The cartel's legacy was real, its successors ruthless, violent with a very long reach. Handing it to police would create a media storm. Our names everywhere. Targets on our backs. So we made a decision I would come to regret. We would move the chest. A man from a cash-in-hand advert who didn't ask questions. Under cover of darkness, we drove back. Every shadow a threat. Every noise made me jump. We worked quickly, frantic and clumsy, and retrieved the heavy chest from its hiding place. It felt impossibly heavy, weighted by paper, ink, violence, misery. We loaded it into an unmarked van. We locked it in a self-storage unit on the industrial edge of town. 2 nights later, I tried to pretend life was normal. I looked out and saw a black saloon car across the street. 2 men sat inside. They weren't talking, they were just watching. A chill spread through me. They knew. Somehow, they already knew. I stood hidden, a prisoner in my own home, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm. The black car stayed for an hour, then slipped away. Sleep was impossible. I replayed every decision. How did they find us so fast? The owner? The man with the van? Did someone see us? My small town vanished, replaced by watchers in the dark, unseen threats, silent cars. I was no longer just Mark, the house fixer. I was a man with a dangerous secret. The next morning, Tom called. His voice was strained. "They came here, Mark." My blood ran cold. A man had knocked late, well-dressed, polite, but his eyes were wrong. A deadness. A thin white scar ran from the corner of his eye down his cheek. He asked for me by name, asked where I was. Tom played dumb. The man smiled and left. We were out of time. Our fantasy of control was gone. A package arrived at Tom's, a single photo. Me, taken that morning. The message was simple. We see you. We are everywhere. We can get to you whenever we want. Section 6. Under police protection. We walked in like 2 ghosts and asked for a senior detective. We were taken to a small, windowless room. Detective Inspector Sarah Jenkins. Tired eyes, sharp gaze, no small talk. "Tell me everything, from the beginning." And so I did. The house, the chest, Escobar's notes, the black car, the man with the scar, the photograph. You have no idea the trouble you are in. It became a national crime agency, an international matter. Not found property, organized crime, money laundering, a legacy of violence. Armed officers treated the storage unit like a bomb scene. We handed over the key. Later, they found someone had tried to force our lock. We'd moved it just in time. The chest went to a secure, undisclosed location. We handed over my photos and video. We were no longer in control. We were witnesses. We were targets. That night, they placed us under protection. A clean, comfortable prison. relief and suffocation in equal measure. Section 7. The international stage. Days bled into one another. We knew only what D.I. Jenkins told us. Experts from the UK, the US, and Colombia examined the notes. They confirmed authenticity, printed for cartel use, bribes, value in the billions. My discovery sent shockwaves, unlocking old cases, connecting old dots. The owner, a low-level accountant who fled in the early 90s and lived as a ghost. Ledgers and coded notes built a new map of Escobar's finances. The cartel did not stay quiet. A campaign of intimidation, even a car bomb discovered and diffused. I felt crushing guilt. My curiosity pulled good people into danger. Agents from the DEA spoke with chilling calm. The chest was not treasure. It was a box of ghosts. Section 8, the cost of a legend. After 3 months, the threat lowered. Arrests followed. A European logistics chief was captured. The man with the scar was identified, but vanished. We were told it was safe enough to leave. Given new identities, warned life would never be the same. I left my home, my business, my friends. Tom left his job, his flat, his family, relocated across the country. New names, new histories, a strange, hollow existence. The media raged. Some called me a hero, others a criminal. I never spoke. To the world, I was a mystery and had to stay that way. Section 9, a lesson written in fear. Some treasures should remain buried. That kind of money is never free. It comes with a history. It comes with a cost. The chest was full of pain, violence, misery, a darkness trapped for decades. If you find something like I did, do not make my mistakes. Don't move it. Don't whisper plans. Call the police. Hand it over. I live quietly now, with a new name and job. I fix things. I cherish small, visible joys. Be careful what you wish for and what you search for. If you face a dead king's fortune, close the lid, walk away, call for help. Just try to stay alive. Your own life is the only treasure worth keeping.